Well, honestly, one of the most exciting things about Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is the return of Jessica Jones. We've seen some of the set pictures, but now Charlie Cox has talked a little bit about her return and the dynamic with the two characters, as well as a big Defenders plot hole. So let's dive in and break down all the details. Stay tuned. Well, at the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Matt Murdock made it really clear he was going to need allies to take down Mayor Fisk. And right away, we were talking about some of those old Defenders characters. Now, the MCU is fully populated in New York, and there's a lot of choices there, like Ms. Marvel or the Swordsman, but most of us wanted to see the return of some of those classic Defenders characters. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about Luke Cage returning, as well as Finn Jones as Iron Fist, but last month it was actually confirmed that Kristen Ritter was indeed set to return as Jessica Jones in Season 2. Since then, we've got a lot of pictures from on set, and it looks like at least half the gang is already back together. Now recently, Charlie Cox sat down with the team at Deadline, and they talked a little bit about him syncing up with his old Defenders co-star once again, and what that was going to be like in this upcoming series. And honestly, this jives with what we got in the past. He said, "There's a mutual respect for one another. She finds him overly serious and too much of a choir boy, and he finds her to be crass and making light of too many serious situations. She's more hero than anti-hero." Now, honestly, this is a dynamic we got during The Defenders. One of the most particular lines I loved in that series is when he stole Jessica's scarf to tie it on his face and she told him he looked like an asshole. Jessica Jones is sort of unique in the world of superheroes, and honestly, her personality is unlike any other. She is a true anti-hero, and her general annoyance and anger management issues are what connect fans to the character. Now, if you remember correctly though, the last time the two saw each other was at the end of The Defenders, and actually Charlie Cox pondered this question in the interview, but didn't answer it. He said, "When did Jessica Jones find out I'm not dead? At the end of The Defenders, everyone assumes I'm dead." Now, to be fair, she's a pretty good private investigator, but Daredevil was on the news, and I have to think at that point Jessica was probably wondering why Matt Murdock had not reached out to her personally during Season 3. This was one of the aspects of Season 3 I found weird, is that Matt made some great allies in the Defenders, but definitely didn't utilize them during that third season, and with Daredevil kind of getting turned into a villain, or at least publicly perceived as a villain, when Bullseye stole his identity, well, I was expecting some of those Defenders to chime in. Now, one of the more interesting things about this interview that didn't have to do with Jessica Jones was when Cox admitted he hadn't even watched any of the series until it dropped on Disney+. And this was pretty cool because he pulled back the curtain on probably what was going on before the show got a rework. He said in that Deadline interview, quote, "Before production was halted because of the writers and actor strike, Vincent and I had expressed some concerns that some of the ingredients that the show had found in the original iteration that we felt were a key factor to its success were being admitted. I didn't watch the show until it was out, partially because I was nervous about it. There were things that we shot that didn't make sense in the narrative. I am in awe of what Dario achieved." Now, this seems to confirm what we were hearing, that the show was a hot mess and that definitely needed that reboot. And honestly, I'm glad Marvel took the hit and got the show right. I enjoyed Season 1 of Born Again, and I'm definitely looking forward to Season 2. Now, as for Jessica Jones, there's still a lot of questions. We do not know how many episodes she's going to be in the upcoming season, but I suspect based on the number of shots we've got from the streets, it'll more than likely be very similar to how Frank Castle was part of Season 1. Now, this begs the question of whether Mike Coulter's Luke Cage, who basically confirmed his return the other day with a post on social media, and Finn Jones, who is also in New York City right now during the shooting, will join Daredevil and Jessica in this season. With the annual nature that Marvel is embracing for the show, I suspect both will appear, but they very well might be the end of season teaser, leaving fans with an exciting development and something to look forward for in Season 3. Obviously, we're following Daredevil pretty closely, and I really am curious on what you guys are thinking of this upcoming season. Lots of returning faces and characters that we love from the past really do drive the nostalgia aspect, and at this point I gotta know, who do you want to see return the most? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Before we take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC news, and we want to bring you all the news truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know.